Hi, guys. So good to see you guys chatting with each other. Oh my gosh. And Shayna, you about made me cry. What a way to get started here, me in tears. Oh, so glad you guys are here. Such a beautiful day out. How's the weather where you guys are? It was such a beautiful day today. It was really hard to run around and do the little bit of cleaning and stuff I needed to do. But when I travel on Tuesday morning, super early, I have to get up super early and get on the road. Then I don't want to clean on Monday. So, yeah. Hey, Evemar. Hey, Anna. Hi, Joanna. So, hey, Shayna. Hey, Lauren, Mary, Leslie, and Marissa. I've seen you lately, Marissa. That's awesome. I'm glad you're joining us. Yeah, it was so pretty out. It still is. And it was probably like maybe 80, no humidity. It was just, unbelievable. So I was enjoying running in and out and just sat outside, had lunch out on my deck. And I usually don't get to do that because sometimes it's too hot, or I have an Airbnb next door to me and I don't like sitting out there when people are there, and they were gone. So I was really happy that I was able to sit out there. Both my neighbors were gone. So I was like, yes. Hey, Edie. Oh, Mary 43 there. It's still spring. Lauren, are you? You are. I think you're going to love it. And it comes fast. They ship the last one that I got from there. They shipped like the next day, and it was so quick. So yeah, you'll have it really fast. Yeah. So anybody sewing with me tonight? I know, Mary, you were going to try if Evelyn will let you. Yeah, 81 today, Leslie. It was like right around there. No humidity though. It was incredible. I expected to walk out and just get hit with this blast, and it wasn't. Oh, good, Mary. Good. Awesome. Yeah, tonight's is a little bit less involved. So I'm going to take you through some different things to kind of give you some things to think about as well. So it may seem like it's simple, but like I said, I'm going to touch on some things that maybe you'll think about later, and I want you to think about before. So, oh, thanks, Marissa. Oh, it doesn't take much. It's like riding a bike, girl. You just get right back on and make your first item or two, which is your masks, and then full speed. You'll be right there. Leslie, I post it below in my comments. So when you get the notification that my live is going on, like I try and post a day before, but this weekend, it just didn't happen. So I did it this afternoon. But there'll be the list of supplies in the notes below, Leslie. So you can go in there and look at that. But when you get the notification, just go straight into my notes. And you guys are seeing the notes, right? Because I did not put it in Discord this time just to test and see if you guys are seeing the notes. And I know some of you are having a hard time linking the pattern. I'm going to go and try and fix that tonight and see if I can't make that better for you guys. But yeah, Leslie, or if you're not seeing it, Leslie, just let me know. Just send me a message or something if you're not seeing it, and I can send you the list. No problem. Hey, Juana. Oh, Joanna, you're already in bed. That's nice. Wish I was. Hey, Yvette. Awesome, Mary. Good. And everybody, Lauren is on. Those of you that haven't met Lauren, she's kind of newer to the group here. She's getting her first sewing machine maybe this week. We've been chatting and she's been trying to decide. So she's joining the group, guys. She's going down the rabbit hole with us. So everybody say hi to Lauren, and she's going to fit into it with us just great. So she's all excited. Hey, Cindy. Yay, Cindy's here. Hey. Yes, thanks, Juana. Give it a thumbs up, guys. So, all right. So I know Mary's going to try and sew with me tonight. Is anybody else, or are most of you guys just watching? Shayna, were you going to sew with me tonight? I know you were going to try when we did the quilt-alongs. Oh, Lauren, I don't know how you can keep your excitement because it's always so fun when you order a machine and Mia, always fun. And then it's just like waiting for Christmas. It's like it never, ever comes, you know? But yeah, it'll be all good. Oh, that's okay, Anna. It's all right. Okay, so we got Anna and Mary that are going to sew with me tonight. So if anybody else is, just let me know. I've already cut out mine, but I'll show you what it looks like. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. So this is, and you can call it a bandana bib if you want, but I like to call them Drool bibs because these are going to be a little fancier and the baby can wear it. And I'm going to show you different ways to do this so that it's not necessarily minky on the back. I did minky just because I had some scraps. So I wanted to just kind of do that version, but you can do two different cottons. I know that Mary's going to do flannel with a towel on the back, and you can do that. So it just depends, you know, how absorbent or how drooly the baby is. You know, some babies don't drool as much as others. So, you know, if you've got one that drools a lot, maybe the towel on the back is a good way to go because I know that will absorb probably a little bit better than a minky would. But I did the minky just because if they're wearing it, it'll be soft. You can do two types of flannel. You could do denim and a bandana, an actual bandana. So you can use bandana fabric. Hey, Sam. So, you know, just whatever you find. You know, what would be really fun too is if you had like an old t-shirt and you could capture like parts of the t-shirt emblem or decoration or whatever is on that and make it just really fun. And the t-shirt then would definitely capture the drool. So just really think outside the box, guys, when you start looking for anything like this. And these can be so much fun, but they're super simple and they've just got one little snap on the back. So this is one of them we're going to make tonight. And then another one that I make, and I'll give you guys the dimensions for this, is a rectangular one, double-sided, and then it snaps also. And so you can do one snap, you can do two snaps, or all three, and then they just wear it around their neck, or you scrunch it. Or if you really want to get creative, you can take and snap them kind of funky. And then it gives it, you know, just kind of a twist or something. I mean, these are fun just for the fact that they're super simple, but you can make them look really kind of cool just by the way you snap them. So anyway, this is again, just two pieces of cotton, and it's another type of a Drool bib. So these are the two that we're going to talk about tonight. This one doesn't need a pattern, it just needs dimensions. It's super, super, super simple. Just two rectangles, put the faces together, sew them, turn them inside out, top stitch, and put your snaps on. I mean, it couldn't get any easier. Yes, thanks, Lauren. Hit the like button, guys. That really, really helps me. It helps you guys also. The more people that start following me and Amber and Gabby's lives, the more ideas we get, the more videos we keep putting out. So yeah, I mean, we're not doing this just for a little while, guys. This is indefinite. We plan on this going on for a very long time. So anyway, so these are fun, and you can even just kind of fold them partially, half over and half of the other fabric. I mean, there's so much you can do with these, and they're just two pieces of rectangles, so kind of fun. Oh, good, Mary. Okay, no, that's not a problem. Not a problem. What? Dog biting the neighbor kid, Mary? Oh, no. I hope everything's okay. That's all you need right now. Hey, Angela. Wow. I hope everything's all right, Mary. All right. So the one that we're sewing though tonight is this one. And that's the pattern that you guys got. And if you're having problems with the link, I'm going to go back and fix that. So don't get too upset about it. The girls earlier were having a hard time with it. So I'm going to go back and try and fix it a little bit and see if I can't make that either clickable or copy paste into your browser and it'll take you there. Cause I know they said they were trying everything and it wasn't working. So anyway, but yeah, I know I keep playing with this minky part. I love this minky that I got. It was a blanket and I had cut it up for, what did I use it for? It was the back. Oh, it was the back for a baby quilt that I made. And so I had a good piece of it still left. It is so soft. So don't mind me if I sit here and kind of keep playing with this thing here. But anyway, so the pattern was one piece, super easy. Hey, Nancy. I think I saw you on another live the other night, and I'd asked you where you were from. Was it Dallas that you said? Houston? One of the two? I know you told me. I can't remember. I'm so bad. So bad. Okay, so this is your pattern. Now, notice how it's got an angle, and then straight, even though it's still an angle when you put it on your fold and it goes straight up and down. So you got lots of angles, but this is your top, okay? And this is the bottom. So I just wanted everybody to know that. San Antonio. Okay. Why did I not remember that? Because you're not far from me. I don't know why I didn't remember that. So anyway, I want you to know, and it does matter on some fabrics, what is the top and what's the bottom. So the F, the start of the reading, is at the top. And that always, whenever you're looking at a piece of fabric, not fabric, a pattern, and you're uncertain, you don't read it upside down. You always read it right side up. So if that helps you any, just a little tip. And so if you're looking at it, it makes sense. But if I was to look at it this way, it wouldn't make sense to me. So I don't know if you guys can catch that or not, but it always reads from top to bottom. At least it should. Now I'm sure there's going to be some that are going to make me out to that not be true. So anyway. Yeah, that is. It's very scary for both. I agree. That's never anything anybody wants. Okay, so as you see, it says fold over here. So you're going to take your fabric, both your top fabric and your underneath fabric, and this is going to get cut twice. One side of your top fabric on the fold, one side of your bottom fabric on the fold, okay? So when you're cutting, when you get done, so I've already cut mine out, then you're going to have that. And then the bottom fabric, which I'm using lime green minky, and looks just like it again, doesn't it? So, and it really doesn't matter which way is the right side and the wrong side, because they are reversible. So you don't have to worry about that on this pattern, okay? You just have to make sure that you get your pattern correctly. So that's why you have to know where's the top and the bottom. And we're going to talk about that on a piece of fabric over here before we get going. So this one kind of, it throws you, this fabric, because, yeah, I'm going to redo that. It's the link isn't working for some reason, so I got to go back in and redo it. Sorry. If anybody has the link and they're able to post it in here, that would really be awesome. Otherwise, yeah, I'm going to fix it afterwards. It's at projectnursery.com. Now, don't go to Shop Project Nursery because I got on that accidentally when I was trying to go back to the pattern. That's a whole different thing. This is projectnursery.com. And so this is from, I think, 2015. If they ask, if you have to go in the long way, if you're trying to find it real quick. But it also says greyhouseharbor.com. I don't know if they would have it, but I got it on the projectnursery.com site. Oh, okay, that's true. It has to be a moderator. I forgot about that. Let me see if I can grab it real quick here. Hang on, guys. Yeah, it keeps wanting to take me to that shop part. And it's the same site. That's the weirdest thing. I don't know. They must have taken their site from a tutorial into that. Let me do this here because I know, Mary, you had posted it earlier. Let me see if I can't go get it off of that. My mouse would just cooperate. Okay, here it is. I think I got it for you guys. Oh, nope. It wants to send it through Discord. That ain't gonna work. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna take the link in. Okay, I think I got it now. Yeah. There you go, guys. There's the link. Oh no, Mary, yeah. Yep, I know. Sometimes the pups don't understand they're playing rougher than they should be because they play like they do with other dogs and they get a little rough with them once in a while. Okay, so let's talk real quick about direction of fabric. No, Sarah, you are not late at all. We're just getting started. I was trying to fix the link and I got to go fix it in the description, but the link is right there, Sarah, if you needed it. It's just one piece, Sarah. We were just talking about how to know which was up and which was down. That's all you missed. And for you real quick, the angle is down and the mini angles here is up, and then the F is towards the top. Okay. So this fabric that I chose is kind of multi-directional. So this is one of those fabrics that no matter where you cut it out, something's going to be up, something's going to be down, something's going to be sideways, something's going to be upside down. And it may or may not look right, but it is right. So as you notice, I've got dinosaurs up, dinosaurs sideways, dinosaurs, of course, right in the very middle, upside down. So, and it's okay. It's just, it kind of looks funny right in the middle. So when you go to cut it out, and I was just doing it so fast because I knew this was just going to be our tutorial, but if I was going to do this and really pay attention, I probably would have flipped it so that the middle had them sitting up, just because it's right in the middle. So when you're looking at it like this, they're upside down right now. And I don't know if that bothers some people or not. It may or may not, because this little guy over here is still going to show up, and he's going to show up, and then these others are sideways. Anyway, So watch your fabric just a little bit when you go to cut out your print. And this is another one. So if we were going to use something like this, you can either lay it this way, or you could lay it this way. Now, if we were to lay it this way, and say I take my fold, so you can kind of see how that is going up and down like that. Now I'm going to take my pattern, and we're just going to pretend I'm not going to actually cut it out, but I'm going to show you guys a little bit. So if we lay it on the fold, you can kind of see what it's doing there. So it goes at an angle. When you lay this out, it goes at an angle. That's just the way the pattern's written. So it's going to go across these straight line fabrics. So that's probably the way I would lay this one out. Now, if you lay it this way, so that they're going across instead of like this, and then you lay it, it's going to be short little snippets, and the zigzag's going to be going like this, up from the face down to the feet instead of across kind of at an angle this direction. And I just think aesthetically it would look better going across rather than straight up and down, but you could love it this way. There's nothing saying it's right or wrong this way. I just want you guys to really, really look. Hey, Sandy. Really pay attention when you go to lay this out. Watch your fabric. Look and see what this is doing. And think about it for a minute. Let me see if I can grab another one. Okay, so polka dots aren't going to matter. You can do it any direction on a polka dot, and it's going to be fine. So you are going to have some that doesn't matter. But say we were to do something like this. Now, if you're thinking Halloween, okay, I'm just grabbing this stuff off my shelf over here. So these guys kind of go everywhere and kind of don't. So you can kind of see what it would do that way. And then if we go this way, it kind of looks like it's going to be fine no matter what. So all you can do is just lay them both ways and really just look at it for a second. And if you have to, turn it inside out and just take this pen, or you can even do it on the top, because this pen is disappearing ink. And it says it's water soluble, but it's also air soluble. And I love this thing because the ink will just naturally fade away within 24 hours or sooner. So you could go ahead and trace, if you've got this, you could trace it on the fabric, hold it up and decide if you like it or not. If you don't like it, retrace it. You didn't ruin the fabric because it's all going to fade away anyway. So this is called disappearing ink and air and water soluble ink. Don't ask me what brand because it doesn't say. I just bought it, I think, at either Joann's or Hobby Lobby. I think it was Joann's I bought this at. In fact, I'm almost positive I bought this one at Joann's. It's got the purple cap. I do have one that is water only. And that's okay too, if you've only got the water only one. And so you just spray it with a little bit of water when you're done and just dab it. It'll go away too. But I just like this one because I don't have to do anything more. I just walk away. It'll just disappear on its own. So, oh no, Sarah, at least it disappears though, right? Right, it did. I hope. Yeah, I haven't had this one explode, thankfully. So anyway, I love these Give them a try, guys. It might be a game changer for you, or maybe not. You know, you might like your chalk or pencil or whatever you're using. Sometimes I get something and I think it's gonna be a game changer, and I use it and I'm like, no, probably won't use that again for some reason. You know, I just didn't like it. But I love that one. Okay, so does that make some sense about what I was telling you guys about watching how you lay stuff out? And that's not just for this stuff. That's for patterns in general too. This one really kind of does matter, but patterns in general, you really need to pay attention to not only grain line, especially on knits, which way is it stretching, but also patterns. Because some patterns, if you cut them funny, and like it's a bigger print and you cut the print and you barely see any of it, might look a little different than if you were to refold it just a little bit so that a little bit more of that print would show. So you just really got to watch what it is that you're dealing with. Sorry, we have a friend of a friend who's terminal, and so she's been texting about it, and I'm just kind of curious what's been going on. It sounds like tonight's the night that they're gonna let him go. So I feel bad for them. They're young. The guy is young, but he's been ill for a very long time. So hey, itty bitty bundles. Yeah, I didn't know him, thankfully. I just feel bad for my friends because I think they were pretty close to him from the way it sounds. So, hey, Ashley. So we knew it was coming. She's been keeping us informed. And yeah, I'm back to the Kavita again. Like Angela's trying to get Duncan to sponsor her, I need to get Kavita to sponsor me. It's okay, Cindy. Yeah, it's Sunday night. Things happen. People are busy. They're doing things. So it's all good. All right. So those of you that are sewing with me, I know that you were cutting your fabrics out. Did you have any questions on that? I think it was just Anna and Mary that were going with me on this one tonight. So, okay, now we're going to, if you're doing Minky, then this is how I'm going to show you how to, oh, good, Mary. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to show you how to put this together because it kind of matters. So on the Minky, make sure you look at which side you're using. Now this, I always get, this is from Walmart, I think. So you can go buy pre-cut pieces at Walmart. And so on the Walmart ones, there is a nice pile on one side, and then the other side just kind of looks like it's been washed a whole bunch, and it's super soft, but it's been washed a whole bunch. Hey, Amber. Her and I were texting about that badass machine she got, sorry, because it is. Hey, Pia. So yeah, I'm still got my brain thinking about that, going, man, that would work so good on these. Because when I sewed this one together earlier, I was thinking about that machine. And there's nothing wrong with the home machines doing this. They're fine. Nothing wrong with it. But man, I was thinking about that machine going, that would be just whizzing right through this right now. So anyway, if you have Minky that does have a difference to the side, make sure you pay attention to what that difference is, because the side that you want showing is the side that we will call the right side. Okay, so we are going to, this is the right side because that's the side that's going to be out when we're done. The wrong side is obviously the back side. So this is going to be my right side. If you can see, it looks really good here, where when I was telling you, it kind of looked like it was really already washed and starting to shred, or not shred, but shed just a little bit. That's what I'm going to call the wrong side. And it's not that it is, it's just the way that they make that fabric. So Anyway, I want this on the outside. You might want this on the outside. Nothing wrong with it. Just make sure you know which side you want on the outside so that you don't put it all together and then go, oh man, put the wrong side on the inside. I have machine envy, Sandy. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I've got like 5 machines and I have machine envy, but hey, I'm like, you know how guys are with their tools and with their cars and everything. Well, we're the same way with the machines, you know. It was really sad. I got that new vehicle 2 weeks ago, and the salesman was, hey, Stacy. The salesman, when he was coming back and we were almost done, I had to wait for them to do some things to it because it was a used vehicle. And so I just kind of hung out for the day, and they had to do some things because they had just gotten it in, and it was, hadn't really been 100% finalized and detailed and ready to go out the door. So when it was close to getting ready, he comes over and he goes, are you excited? And I felt so bad because I was like, yeah, no, it's a car, gets me from A to B. Now, if we're talking sewing machines, I would be like, are we done yet? Are we done yet? Are we done yet? And it was almost like he wanted me to be going, yeah, let's go. And the fact that I went, it's a car. I don't get all that excited about cars. They just kind of get me where they got to go. I think I deflated him. I felt so bad. Like, no, really, I love the car. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a beautiful car. You did really good, but that's not my hot button. So anyway, I'm like thinking, now that I got the car, we can start working on the machines again. The thing I get really excited about. So anyway, okay. So back to the Minky. And I know you guys have heard this a million times, and we're going to do it again for those that maybe don't know. The way to pin Minky. Okay, you're going to do this whether you're doing bibs, whether you're doing fur claws, you're doing blankets, whatever. You pin the same. So I like, and this is just the way I do it, and you're going to see everybody has their own way of doing it, and you just kind of have to try several different ways until you figure out either what works best for you, what works best for you and your machine, what you love. I've done some ways that I thought, oh man, I'm going to love doing this. And when I did it, I was like, no, that didn't work so well for me. So anyway, yeah, that's just it. Mia, I was just going, yeah, I'm giving you money if we buy a machine. And that's why I'm not really excited about this, because I had other ideas for that money. Not a car. But it's not like I went and bought a car because I wanted a car. It's because, well, it was better than walking. So, oh, Juana, I usually I try and post the day before. Today I didn't get it posted until a couple of hours ahead. I was just I was running late. So yeah, usually I post the day before, sometimes 2 days before, sometimes on Friday. Most of the time for certain on Saturday, but today it didn't happen until Sunday afternoon. Sorry. But yeah, normally just go, if you turn on the notification bell on here along with the subscribe, Juana, you will get the notification when I put up the announcement that I'm going live, and the list will be in there. So you'll automatically get the notification. Hey, Faye. Okay, so what I do, let me see if I can, I'm going to move you guys for about 2 seconds. Whoops, that didn't work so well. I'm stuck on something over here. What am I stuck on? Oh. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So I laid the top onto the bottom. So right sides together. And then I just kind of keep fussing with this until my edges are nice and clean. Now you may have to go in and clean up just a little bit more here if that's stuck. I'm kind of fussy about this stuff because it'll sew and turn so nice if you have a clean edge. Now this one was a booger. I couldn't get a clean edge to save my life. So it can happen. Don't be frustrated if it does. Just do your best. But this one, this green one, I can get a clean edge pretty good on it. It cleans up fairly nice. So, oh, thanks, Mary. So this is what we do. And then to pin, and I'm going to have to just emulate since I'm holding the camera, is I will pin parallel to the edge. And I go in, and I'm going to go ahead and pin this, and then I'll show you guys again, so don't worry. Just try and follow along with me here for a second. So I pin real often and far enough away. So if you're going to use a serger, you definitely want to be far enough away because your serger is going to follow closer in than if you use a sewing machine. On this one, I'm going to use a sewing machine. I did the serger on this one just because I was in a hurry. And, you know, you can use either, you can use both, whatever you like. You know, if you only have one, no biggie. Oh, Mia, thank you. So sweet. So sweet. Yes, Faye, cotton and minky. That's what I'm doing this one out of, and that's what this one was made out of. Cotton and minky. You can use flannel and a towel, which is what Mary's doing. You can use flannel and flannel. You can use flannel and cotton. You can use cotton and cotton. Anything that you want. I even mentioned, for those of you that weren't on, I'm going to turn you right side up here. But those of you that weren't on early enough to hear that, get a little t-shirt that has like a cool design on it and do like 2 different t-shirts, one on the front, one on the back. You know, sky's the limit on these guys. Use your imagination. They can get really fun, really cool, really useful. You know, it just depends on how absorbent you need them to be or how decorative or how dressy. You know, when the baby's wearing it, obviously it's going to be a part of their outfit. So maybe you've got some leftover pieces from something you made them that they're going to be wearing that day. And you just want to throw one of these together real quick so that it matches. Anything, guys. So I'm going to pin this real fast and then show you what I was talking about. But you may or may not have it perfectly cut. Minky gets a little difficult to cut once in a while. I've found I like to use my rotary cutter regardless. I don't like using scissors on Minky. It will move on me and I will have a mess and nothing's perfect and it's just going to be all wonky and off. So I highly recommend using a rotary cutter. And then I also use one of these rulers, and it doesn't have to be any certain size, but it just smashes it down. So I'll put it down along the line and smash it, and it holds it from moving and inching around. But you'll have to cut really slow and just take your time with it. But it really does help hold that Minky. Hi, Sierra. So yeah, let me do this real fast here. But you guys usually talk amongst yourselves anyway, so you're so good about that. I was so looking forward to tonight, guys. It's been just, you know how sometimes you just need girl time? No, I just needed girl time tonight. So I'm glad you guys are all here. This is so nice. Hey, Nikki. I got to be really careful because these are those extra fine ones. And guys, these are so sharp. Man, it doesn't take much for me to put this thing into my finger. But they're really good for these kinds of things. They slide right in like butter. But trying to get them out of here is where I tend to try and poke myself a whole lot. But I think they're glass top bead, the glass beaded top ones. So you can put them under the iron and they won't melt on you. And it does look like I'm going to have, yep. And that's okay. I'll show you what to do about that. This Minky did move on me just a touch when I cut it. And that's kind of normal. That's the one good thing about these little scarves here. You can fudge them just a little bit if something moved on you. And it's not really going to affect them much. So we'll talk about that now. All right, so does that kind of help show you guys the way I've pinned that? I don't give it much gap. In fact, I'm going to go put a pin right there. The more pins I can put in with the less gap, the less this minky is going to move when I sew it. So I try and put them almost end to end. And then this is the way you should be doing also your blankets. Only on your blankets, you might want to do 2 rows. And so you could do, Mary, isn't that about the way it goes? So you could almost stagger them, like do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 every other row, kind of like thing. And you still have enough because you're not going to take them out. So anyway, but so you'll notice, I was telling you the minky moves a little bit. It's off just a tiny bit here, and it's okay. That's really not a big deal. You don't want it off a ton, but a little bit's not really going to matter. And then you can go back on this side, and if you have to move it around and repin a little bit, go ahead. In fact, I'm going to do that on this point part, because the point part, when I looked at it, it was off. So my point on my minky is here, but my point on my cotton is over here. And I want those to be a little closer to match up. So when I move it and make it match up, then I'm going to want to go back over on the top side and repin that so it will stay. And this is where I probably, in this instance, I'm going to do a T-pin. So I pin 1 down so that it holds that, and then I pin it across that. And then when I come stitching down, if I need to take one out, I can do that. But I'll make sure that it's there when I'm sewing. And yes, you can use a walking foot if you have one. You absolutely can. I'm not doing any of that because I'm showing those of you that don't have any of that stuff. I want to keep it as simple as possible. And then if you have the walking feet and you have all the other stuff, use them. Definitely use them. See if I can adjust to this corner here just a little bit. Okay, and I can just a little. Now I don't want to adjust it too much because then if I try and stretch this, it could cause a pucker on this side when the thing is completely sewn together. So you want to lay it and adjust it so it lays nice, but don't stretch it so much. You can stretch just a little bit, but I wouldn't do much. It's more just realigning everything so that you know when you go to sew it, everything is where it's supposed to be. So I always turn it back over and lay it down and just kind of carefully adjust just to make sure there's no, let me move you guys and show you. So I've got it like this. And so the pins are on the underneath, so I can do this. I won't poke myself, but I can kind of just move it. Okay, I don't feel any puckers. I don't feel anything. So it feels like it's going to sew really nicely. Okay. And this, I only do this when I'm doing the minky. The others, you can do it with your flannel and stuff. And sometimes a flannel will move just a touch. So I would do it with the flannel. But if you're doing cottons, once you've got it laid flat on top of each other and everything's laying out really nice, you really probably don't need to keep doing this. T-shirt material, any kind of a knit material, I would definitely do it with. You can do knit with the minky as well. Like I said, you can do any types of fabrics that you like. Pinking shears help minky to not. You know, I don't have a whole lot of luck with pinking shears on minky, Mary Beth. I don't like, again, the fact that you're cutting because then your minky's going to move. And it's that cutting and getting your scissor underneath, and it really brings it pretty far up. I've not ever had any success cutting minky with scissors or pinking shears just because it will completely distort it by using scissors. So I've always used rotary. Now, if you have the pinking rotaries, I haven't tried that. You can try that. That might help some of the shredding. Yes. Oh, Bingham. Yeah, Amber. Here. I'm just going to grab the fabric. So this is the one I'm sewing. Little dinosaurs. And then this is the one that I did for the sample. And I was showing everybody how the prints kind of rotate on a lot of these. So when you'll see my dinosaurs, you might be able to see it here. So these two, no matter what I do, are going to be down in the middle. And I was showing them, for me, I don't know that I like that. It's not a problem. It's really not a big deal. But I think if I'd turned it so that they were like this direction, I think it just might have looked a little better. So we had a little discussion about watching your print when you go to do that. So anyway. And I'm going to use my sewing machine tonight. And Lauren, this is a Janome. It's not the one you're looking at, but it is a Janome. So I love Janomes. Everybody else that knows me knows that. And this little girl has been with me for a very, 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 very long time. Ah, thank you, Stacy. Just reading through, making sure I didn't miss anything. You will be, Lauren. You will be real soon. Thanks, Amber. And then Shayna, I'm still working on your suggestion. Those of you that haven't heard, Shayna made a request that maybe we start doing a simple quilt along. And I'm gonna work one of those out. Got a couple of ideas in my head. I want it to be very simple and stuff that you guys can totally pick up on very easily and just kind of alter whether you want to do a baby quilt, a lap quilt, a twin size quilt, a full size quilt, whatever. And it's just a matter of adding on more patterns of what we're doing. And it's going to be simple patterns too. And then I'm going to show you how to shake it up a little bit too. So anyway, that's going to be separate from this sew along. I want this to be purely the kids stuff that Gabby and Amber and I plan. So I have not yet decided if I'm going to do that live or if I'm going to do every now and then a video one. My schedule's really tight until the end of May because I'm still traveling until the end of May, and then hopefully I'm back home again. So we'll see how that all works out, but yeah, we'll make it work. I'm not worried. I kind of want to do some of those live as well. So we will see, and it'll probably be at a different time slot. So just letting you guys know, this is always going to stay the way that it gets planned with me and Amber and Gabby. So I'm just going to turn this one. Yeah, Mary. Oh, and this one's a combo, Mary. I sent Lauren a link to one that I think is going to be really good. It's a heavy duty one and Gabby's got it and she loves it. So if you want to get that link, just let me know. You know, Sam, I don't think Janome makes industrial. I haven't seen it now. Janome, as most of you know, a lot of the companies make several different brands. So like Brother makes Baby Lock, and Bernina and Melco are the same, and Conso makes Texo and a couple others. No, that's an industrial name. And then Juki makes some others besides Juki. So Janome may make an industrial one under another name, and I'm just not aware of that right now. So it's very possible that they do. They've been around forever, so I can't imagine they don't. It would just seem odd. Yes, Mary, very much. And that's all we're going to work on is just basics. And I'm going to show you guys kind of how to shake it up. And then we'll just we'll go from there. You know, I'm not planning too far ahead on that because that could take us down a whole nother rabbit hole. And I'm game for that. And I've done a lot of quilting. I'm not an expert by any means, just like most people. I dabble in it. But I know enough. I know enough to be able to get you guys where you need to be. And then if you want to go further down that rabbit hole, then we definitely can. We can research some more stuff. Yes, Leslie, you are so right. Bracoma and Pfaff and Husqvarna. Yes, those are all the same. Elna is Janome. Yes, Ashley, Elna is Janome. I knew there was one and it just wasn't coming to my head. Yes. Hey, Angelina. Hey, I was looking at your video today, Angelina, your new craft space. Girl, I love that. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys did an amazing job. That was so sweet of your hubby to help you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I gotta quit talking. I think I'm just gonna zigzag these edges. And since this is wanting to do what it's wanting to do with the Minky, I think zigzag's going to help control a lot of that fuzz for me when I go to turn it. So I'm going to give that a shot. I think we're going to be good on that. All right. Keep forgetting I've got you guys on this and I can move you. Okay. So I'm adjusting my stitch and I've got it at about a 5. Mine goes up to a 7. So I've got it at about a 5. I think most of you will probably go to a 5. So if you've got the normal like 0 to 5, I would go at about a 3, 3.5. And then the distance apart, I've got about I'm going to do it at about a 2. Okay. So you're going to sew around, but you're going to leave probably about 3 inches open from where you start to where you stop. And I'm going to do it on this long side right here. So on the bottom, on this long side is where I'm going to leave my opening. You can leave it up here if you want. I just always like to do mine on the bottom. And then also if you have a tag that you want to put in, then when we flip it and it's on the bottom, you can easily slip that tag in. Then you can slip it in now if you want to. But if you're going to zigzag, I don't know. I think it's just easier for me when I flip it. If I'm going to stick a tag in that sticks out, I want to be able to see when I'm sewing it so I don't sew it funny. Because if I stick it in here, I know how I am. I can get it caught and have to end up ripping it. So, but if you're good at doing that, you can stick it in there and catch it. Yes, Mary. I would zigzag the towel in the flannel, and because your flannel also is going to fray fairly easy, and so your zigzag will stop that. Not that it really matters because we're going to top stitch, but I think when you go to turn, it's going to make your life a little easier. Sorry, just reading through. Oh, good, Ashley. Congratulations. Okay. And always make sure you put your needle in the down position when you stop, if you have that on your machine. If not, then just remember every time you stop, turn your dial so that your needle is in the down position. And always make sure you sew backwards to lock your stitch just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to come up to where I had done that T, and I'm going to want to pull that one out, and I'm going to hold it with my finger so that it does not move. Okay, and I'm sticking myself already. These things are so sharp. And if you guys haven't figured out, these little seam rippers have multi-uses. Not only just rip seams, but they also kind of just help you pull your fabric up when you get it underneath sometimes. I also use it sometimes to help push my fabric if it's kind of stuck just a little bit. So if I need to move it just a tiny bit, I'll put it in there and just kind of push. And it's just right in front of my foot so that it never gets in far enough to where the needle hits it. And then that way it'll kind of help feed my fabric through once in a while if I'm just at a point where it's like it just needs to go just a tiny bit more. I didn't gauge it right. Okay, so now on this end still, I've got to pay attention to the fact that my minky doesn't go quite all the way to the edge of my cotton. So I can go ahead and go over and then move it back just a little bit, and it's fine. We'll just put it down because we're going to lose all of that when we turn anyway, and it's all going to get tucked in. So it's all good. Now, I got a little far over. You can still do just like what I did. You can open it up, take your needle up, move your fabric around just a touch. Don't move it too far. You can adjust just a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. Put your needle back in the down position before you get going so you can really look and see, am I where I need to be? And then just keep right on going. Now, if you're doing a regular machine versus a serger, you're probably going to get better points. Like you're going to notice on this pattern that this comes down to a V at the neck. I couldn't get it to come to a complete V. It was more rounded, and it's okay. More rounded when I did it with the serger because it's hard to get exact points like that when you're trying to change directions without just having to completely stop your serger, cut it, and then start over again, cut your thread and start over again. And I just didn't want to do that. So I made it rounded with the serger, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so now I'm coming down to this last side, so I got to remember, I've got to leave a part to turn. So I'm going to stop probably right before the head of that pin. So this is where I'm talking about. It just didn't want to feed very well. So I just used my seam ripper to kind of help move things up, straighten everything out. Mickey will sometimes take a dive down below. That's not unusual. And I just do it real slow until it catches. Okay. And then I turn it backwards and sink it down. Okay. And then make sure you trim your ends. all your end pieces off, and then take your pins out as well at this point. Okay, so let me get you guys back to where you can see again. Oh, that cord keeps turning that. Sorry. All right. Yeah, it's not bad, Amber. Pin like I showed you. So that way, if you are using your serger, you don't have to pull your pins out, and you pin further up. Marissa, I don't know if it sews better. Yeah, it's all a preference, I think. Okay, so now I've got them all out, and we're still. So now, what you want to get, I use, this was a chopstick. And I just broke them apart, saved them from when we went to eat one night. And I'm not good at eating with these, but I bring them home and use them for this kind of stuff. So you get 2 with your meal. So anyway, go ahead and turn this. Now what I'm going to want to do first, though, is I've got a little extra fabric here, as you can see. Get it to not burn out like it's doing. I'm going to trim that even so that there's no bulk. And it's going on the inside, and we're going to top stitch anyway. So it really doesn't matter. And then I've also got a little bit running down here, and that's okay. I'm just going to trim all that up nice and neat. Now, don't cut your stitches. You don't have to get too crazy with trimming. Just don't have a lot of edge there. And then what you want to do down at the bottom where your point is, so where this point is, don't cut your stitches. But if you can see, I've got this point here. I'm going to trim that off straight. That's the cotton, because my zigzag is up here on my minky. So I'm going to trim it just straight across. See that? Just went straight across, and I didn't cut the minky at all. So that's going to help that point. Then the other thing you may want to do, I don't know if you're going to have enough space, so, and it may not matter. But at this point here on the top, if you've got the space, take your scissors and just the tips. Remember these that I always say, I love these tips right here. I cut just a little notch down so that when I go and turn that, it lays nice and flat. So what I did was cut the notch this way. So you put your finger just barely put your blades in there, because you're not going to have a lot of room. But all it's going to do is it's going to free that fabric up just enough that when you go to turn it and try and get that nice point, it'll turn really nice for you. If you don't cut it, you're going to fuss with it just a little bit. If you're scared to cut it, don't worry. It's not a big deal. You don't have to cut it. But if you're able to, give it a shot. I think you'll find out that it makes life a little easier. All right, so now let's go turn. So what I do is I start with my short end, and I flip that through, and I grab my whatever you're using. But make sure you don't, this thing, the other reason I like it is it's got a flat, it's not a point. So this top is flat, so I won't poke through. If you've got a point, be very careful, because you're going to run it right through your fabric and create a hole. So I'm just pushing and trying to get this out as far as I can without going through on the fabric. And I get a pretty good turn so that it's pretty pointy. But you're not going to get a perfect point. It's going to have just a little rounded edge. It's fine. All right, so now then we just start turning. And I just take my fingers and turn everything. And I'll get that bottom V and work it out with my fingers. And then I'm going to take this and just give it a little bit of a push. Find that open here. Give it a little bit of push to help that point come out. And then keep pulling. Now when you get to this part, it gets a little difficult. Use this again. Go back to the opening. Put that in. And now you come across to this edge. And just real carefully work it up. You don't really have a whole lot left. And then when you get to the point, again, like we did on the other side, and you're just pushing that just real gently until you get all of that worked out. There. All right, so now he's kind of poofy. If you're using Minky, he's kind of poofy. Using the towel Mary, it's going to be a little poofy. If you're using just cottons, it'll be nice and flat, okay? So either way, though, we want to take it over to the iron, and you're going to want to real carefully iron your edges. So you're going to probably have to pull this open a little bit and then lay it nice and flat with your fingers, okay? And just work it, because when you go to iron it, it's going to want to do this folding. It's going to want to fold in and iron like this, and then all of a sudden you've got half of it in there. And that's just natural, so you just got to work it a little bit. And just keep rolling it with your fingers. Roll your seam. And you can feel it when you roll it. You'll feel that seam. And just get it. And just keep going all your way up and around. And then when you go to iron it, it should lay a little easier, and you should be able to iron it fairly easy. Now when you get to this other side, here, okay, where the opening is, when you go to iron, I'm going to have to move the camera to show you guys again, because there's a trick to this, because we're creating the seam that you're going to sew it shut with, okay? So you're going to want to take your pins with you when you go to the iron. And so then I'm going to iron this cotton. Trying to move the camera here. I'm not figuring out where I need to be here. So that's why you want to iron everything first on this and leave this to last, okay? Because then you're going to iron this cotton and follow that seam allowance. Iron that. Then you're going to flip it over. You've already got that ironed then. Which way do I got to go? And then you're going to turn your Minky in, or your bottom fabric, whichever you're working with, and make it match up and pin it closed, okay? So I'm going to run over the iron and do this, and then I'll come back and show you what I'm talking about, okay? It'll be a little easier once I've already done it. I'll be right back, you guys. Chat, have fun. Okay. Now, this is the part too, when you're turning that seam inside and ironing it, when you go to turn, if it's not 100% the same, it's fine, because if your allowance, your seam that you did, maybe you started just a skosh further in and you ended it just a skosh further out, it's okay. Just make it match up according to where it's at, because I actually did that, and that's why it made me think of it. So anyway, I pressed it to match the rest, okay? Now, I haven't pinned it yet, so I'm going to show you guys that. Let's see if I can do this better again. Okay, so you can see, where are you guys at there? So you can see how I've pressed it right there. And we're going to turn this. You're just going to push this in and lay that right on top so that it's even. And then you're going to pin that. And then you're going to do it the rest of the way. And you may have to redo it a few times until you get the hang of it. Don't worry about it. You just want it to match up really nice and flush, because then we're going to top stitch this all the way around, and that's going to close it. And then it's going to also help hold the two layers together really nice. So when you wash it and it comes out, it's just nice and finished, and you just throw it in the dryer and it'll come out really good. So I'm going to pin this real quick and then I'll show you guys. And I tend to overpin these areas, and I always pick them up while I'm doing them too. It helps me to get them nice and flush. And I'll show you what I mean by flush. Okay, so you can see flush as in they match the back and the front. Neither one is, not one is further out than the other. So just take your time, and yeah, this sticks up a little bit, but it's going to be fine. So that's what it's going to look like when you go to finish your edge, and you've taken your time and pressed it really good. And yeah, it's not an easy movement the first time you do it, okay? So be patient with yourself. It is a little bit of a fiddly movement until you get used to it. Okay? And then we're going to top stitch. So now we're going to go and set it. And there's several different things you can do on this if you wish. On my machine, I have got a few different settings. Let's look at these. Some of you will have these, some of you may not, okay? So I've got this one that sews with the needle right in the middle. I've got this one that moves my needle over to the left. I use this one quite a bit when I do my top stitching. And let's see if you can see this. Okay, so I hit it already. Let me hit the middle one. See how it goes? Now I'm going to hit to the left. And it may be backwards for you guys, but see how it moves the needle? So now when I go to line up, there's times when I want to be able to line this up along the edge here, but yet my needle, if it sits in the middle, may be too much, and it might be getting too close to the edge. That's when sometimes you want to move your needle over, not everything else. If you don't have that, it's not a big deal. You just do, like I'm probably going to do this just because I want to actually sew right there. I want it to be right at the edge. And the reason I'm doing that is because for me, and you guys can mess with this, but for me, I'm able to roll this minky back while I'm sewing and pull it to the back so it's not this big fuzz line right here. And I did it on this one. And you still get a little bit of a fuzz line along the edge. But what I find when I sew further in, at least for me, when I sew further in, it seems like it gets really fuzzy on the edge. Now, you guys might be better at it than I am. And if you are, oh, man, I envy you. But that's why I got to sew as close to that edge as I can. So I'm going to real quick like top stitch this, and then you're going to also go across this area, and we're going to close it. So you start wherever you feel like it, and if you have a tag to put in, that's where you can stick it in here now if you didn't do it before when we had it inside out and you put it in at that point. So you have two different chances to do this. And I'm just rolling that minky back before I go and sew this edge just a little bit. And I'm just finger rolling all the fluff underneath. You're still going to have a little bit, but that's my best bet at controlling it a little. And I normally use about a 3 stitch when I do that top stitch. Okay, so when you get to your point, make sure you've got your needle down and you've got your point, and then you turn it and keep your point as sharp as you can with your stitching. Okay. Now this is where I'm going to need to use this to try and push my fabric up underneath a little, because I'm at a very sharp point here. Man, I cannot get. I know all you girls are working on camera angles. I really got to work on camera angles. This is making me crazy, and I'm sure it's driving you guys insane, and I'm really sorry. I have got to figure out these camera angles. I like all these multi-angles that everybody's been using lately, and I think I got to figure that one out too. So we'll be working on that as well. Okay, so it's not wanting to move a little, so it's okay if you have to pick it up and move 1 stitch. I didn't move my fabric. I pulled my needle out and put my needle back down, and it released the fabric forward just a little bit. Okay, so now I'm getting to where the pins are, and I'm going to pull 1 at a time out. I don't want to pull them all out. And I've got a lot of them, so I'm going to be stopping and starting a little bit here. This one. Try and roll again and another thing I like to use sometimes here is a butter knife, and you can help smooth stuff under. Now you get to these corners, if you have to do a stitch or 2 on the side and then to get around, that's fine. Now it looks like when I ironed, I did kind of fold it over, so I can open that up while I'm sewing just a little bit, pull it out with my fingers, and then roll that minky under. Wow, somebody's chatty tonight. And all I'm doing is just coaxing that under when I do that. And it takes, you know, a few stitches, as you saw, but it just eventually just grabs and goes. And stop and roll that minky under a little again. And my point didn't come out on the top, and that's okay. It's just going to be rounded. It's not a problem. And you may have a point. If you do, then stop and make it a definite point if you want. Just like you did at the bottom. pull this back under again. And this is where your butter knife or your seam ripper comes in handy to kind of just help you sew some of those short edges, and helps you coax it to get into there sometimes. Be really careful if you get close to your needle though. See, it's trying to sew up a hill, and that's where I'm running into problems. So I just have to keep coaxing it. And if you use a walking foot at that point, you won't have this problem, but I'm doing this just in case you don't have a walking foot, to show you how to get around it. Now I'm coming up to where I started, okay? So I want to make sure before I get there, I cut any long tails that I had on the top and the bottom, make those go away, so that they don't get all tangled up and everything when I get to there and have to do my backwards and forwards again. Now try and line your stitching up with where you started so that you come in at the same exact width, and do your back stitch and your front stitch and cut yourself loose. There we go. Okay, I'll put you guys back over here again. Hey, Diane. Everybody's low. Hey, Adiani. Hey, hey. Glad you could join. Okay, so now we've done our top stitch and we've got this all pulled together here. So the only thing we have left to do is the snaps. And I need to turn the lights on. It's starting to get dark out. Hang on a second. All right, let me get rid of the sewing machine and these pins. All right. Hey, Nero. I didn't see you guys come in. All righty. So now let's put our snaps in. And I just put one in each end here. So what I do is I take and I overlap however far. I try and keep them as close as possible. That way it gives growth room so that the baby can wear this a lot longer. If they, or they've got like some bulk on, like maybe they've got a t-shirt and a sweatshirt or something, and then you want to put it over that too. So anyway, I try and keep it as close as I can, but yet give it a little bit of an overlap. And then take your really sharp poker, be very careful, and I try and center it so that I've got enough room for that snap up and down, the widthwise. And make sure you get all the way through. And I always try and make a really good hole, especially with the minky, because you can easily lose where it goes. And there it is. Okay. So I've got, just the regular hand one. All right. So I'm going to do the bottom one, and I'm going to leave this in since it is minky, and it's going to be a little harder to find the hole. So I want to try and do that right when I want to go put it in. And then always make sure you pay attention. And I've done this so many times. This is why I'm telling you guys, make sure you pay attention that you get them the right way. Because I've had to go in and pull them out because I put them in upside down or thought I was doing it right and it wasn't right. And I was like, no. And they come out. It's just, oh, it's the last thing you want to do though, is go pull one of those out when you're almost done. And on these, it doesn't matter whether you put the receiver on one and the, I don't know what you call it, the part that goes into the receiver on the top or on the bottom. It really doesn't matter. Just as long as you've got one on one and one on the other. And every time I do this and show you guys, these never want to snap together, and I don't know why. Every time, because this one didn't go in right. That's the one thing I've noticed about these cam snaps is the part that smashes in the middle to hold it. If it doesn't smash all the way down, they don't want to snap. And then you really have to mess with it until you can get that part squished enough so that they snap, or you cut it off or do something. But that's what's happening with me again. It doesn't want to snap because I got a piece in there. And I've gotten to where I can get that off. And it seems like just lately I've had several that want to do that, and I've never had that problem before. So anyway, I'm just got to mess with it a little bit. Or take it off and put a new one on. But either way, there we go. It's good. Well, it's not going to hold. I'm going to have to fix it later. But there's that one. So we've got the little, and it's got the lime green back. Man, it's going to drive me crazy. I am going to make that go together. And this is what's going on. If you can see right here, this little piece. And even if I go in and smash it again, it doesn't want to smash. So I'm going to have to try and get that off of there. And I've done that before. That's what's not letting it snap. So it just didn't want to squish quite right. And I will probably break it, Shane. I've done that where I've smashed these by doing that. So anyway, I will get it. I've done it before. I get in there with an X-Acto blade and just slice it off, and it'll come off, and then it'll work just fine. So little hacks you learn when you're doing this stuff. But anyway, so now you see what I'm saying about when you look at this, even these are up. But what do you see? It looks like it's wrong. It looks like it's upside down. So that's why I'm not so worried about this not working, because I'm probably not going to use this just because this bothers me. It's upside down. So what I'll probably do is I can pull this apart, or I can just reuse this fabric for embroidery. Not a big deal. But anyway, you know, these almost fit us. I just noticed that. But yeah, it's cute fabric, and I'm just going to pay attention next time, because I looked at the fabric before when I laid it out, and I thought, oh, it goes everywhere. It's going to be fine. And then when I cut it out, it still wasn't fine, because that's right in the middle. Now, if this had been off to the side, a little more off over here, and some of these were here, it would have been fine. But all I do is I see that, and my brain goes, you cut that out wrong. Oh, you think? What, this? Oh, Shayna. Yeah, a lobster bib. I love lobster, Michelle. Love it, love it. Yes, and well, and that's just it. Ashley, there is a thing though. You will see that when you Google these, they do have the adult ones, and these are perfect, Ediani. These are perfect for your work. Shayna, you did. But yeah, these are perfect for adult bibs for the assisted livings and for all those homes where if you guys wanted to make those as a charity thing, they would love it, love it, love it, because they go through bibs like crazy there, and they've always got to have something on, and they've got them that they snap around. But even like this, if you made them wide enough to where they snapped not tight, but a little further down so that they could have a little bit of pull room, and then you get them long enough, they would love it. And those would be good to use out of t-shirts or whatever too. So just saying, if you guys wanted a little charity event or a charity thing. Yeah, Ediani, I know you do. You guys go through so many, and that's why I'm saying you guys are always in need of more. And I'm a hospice volunteer, so that's why I know those things, because I go and I sit with my patients while they eat. And yeah, you guys go through so many. But yeah, when you get done, you can see that your little snaps are right here, and it's got a nice little shape to it, so it does lay very good. And that's why it is shaped the way it is. Because when you look at it, you're like, well, why is it kind of got these? But it's because it makes it fit right. So. Yeah, Anna, I know. Isn't that funny? So that's okay. You mess one or two up a little bit, and you learn so much by doing that, because this little guy's sideways, and all of these were going everywhere. So he looks okay because he's sideways, even though he's still not perfect. I would have preferred him up and down, but he goes every direction on this fabric as well. So you can see here's one that's upside down. This guy's at the same angle as the other one here. And then here's the feet for the one that goes up. So yeah, Leslie, see, it's a good way to use up, a lot of things, whether it be fabric or t-shirts, or, it would be really cool too, is if the patient themselves had some shirts or t-shirts that meant something to them, and you made them just for them. Now they would have to keep them separated, obviously, in their laundry, but you could do that. They could put their name on it, and then they would have something that was theirs that maybe they can't wear anymore, but they can still use it. So just saying. So, okay, don't forget about this one too, guys. So let me give you the measurements on this one, okay? This one was the super easy one. It's just 2 rectangles. So your measurements are going to be 6 inches wide. These are cut measurements, not sewn measurements. So cut it 6 inches wide by 21 inches long, okay? So 2 fabrics, 6 inches wide by 21 inches long. Put your right sides together like we did on this. Sew around, leave your opening like we did on this. Flip it, get your corners nice and pointy. So when you sew it on your machine or your serger or whatever, make sure you're careful and don't round those edges unless you want them rounded. If you want them rounded, round the edges. But if you want them nice and pointy, make sure you stop and you put your needle down in the corner and you turn a very nice, clean, solid corner before you start stitching again. So then you turn it, press it, do your edge like I showed you on this to finish it. When you press, come back and it's pinned, and then you do your top stitch all the way around. And then when you get done, I've put 3 in. You can put 4 if you want. Probably no less than 3, but you could easily do 4. You could do, these 2 and then 2 here if you want. And you're done. And this can be out of all those same fabrics that we did with these that we went through. So sky's limit on this one too. This one was a little faster, guys, but I think there's a lot you can do with these, because you could even embroider on this on one side. You do some of those longer, like they have the embroidery files that are for edges that, you like maybe have, or you can put a bunch of your little characters and line them up on Embrilliance or Sew It Pro or whatever you use, and make your file so that they line up. Or maybe you've got just something down at the edge, or you want to put their name, repeat their name all the way around or something. And then, you can do something on this one too if you want. You can make these out of completely plain fabric and do a little embroidery or something on here. So, no, just whatever you guys can think of. These are just basic patterns that you make your own, and take that extra step. Push yourself out of the box a little bit, maybe. Oh, thanks, Angelina. I'm envious of your new craft space, though. I love it. It's so pretty. So, so, so pretty. These are always such good endings to my Sundays. What is the rectangle fabric for, Michelle? Okay, for those of you that came in late and didn't see, this is also a scarf, a Drool scarf or a decorative scarf or whatever for the babies and the little kids. And you could make it a little longer if you wanted one for yourself. I mean, it fits me too if I wanted to. It's the right size if I wanted to do that. And you could make these out of something really warm if you wanted to do it as like an actual scarf for the wintertime for the kids or the adults. Or it can be a Drool bib for the babies. They can also, so you just snap it once and they can wear it forward like that, or to the side, or to the back, or you can snap it all three, or you can get a little creative if you want to do something a little decorative or whatever, and kind of twist it through and just play with your snaps. And then if you put it on, it just creates a little twist to it. Or you go ahead and put them all completely together. Twisted it and I gotta unsnap it. So you snap all three. And these are the same cam snaps. That's what I said. I have not had problems until just recently with that happening. And it's those white ones. So I'm wondering if it's not the color for some reason. And you can go ahead and just fold it even. And so if they were to wear it, and you could show both sides. So this is just, you know. Oh, and you could do that too, Michelle. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, these are perfect for anything you can think of. Yep, you can easily do that, Michelle. Yeah, I think that whatever you guys think of, and those of you that have had kids, I haven't had kids, so I don't think of some of this stuff. I'm sure you're going to think of a lot of things you can use this for. And maybe you have to adjust the length or the width just a touch for whatever you thought of that you thought, oh man, I wish I would have had that when my kid was little or whatever. So yeah, and I love the folded. I agree with you, Lauren, because it shows both fabrics. And I had some, I don't really promote this, but I did have some of these for like that, or for Halloween. And then it had the zigzag on the other side. So that way, if they wanted to wear it for Halloween, they would have had the skulls on one side. And then the rest of the year, they could have worn it this way if they didn't want the skulls, except for Halloween. And then I had it in black also with zigzag. And then I also had the pink zigzag for the girls. So you can totally, yes, Marissa, a tool belt for the dress up. Absolutely. See these little things, just adjust size just a tiny bit and you'd be surprised what you come up with. There you go. There you go, Shayna. See, yeah, that'd be really good too, because you could easily attach it to the stroller. It could hold things, you know, anything. So you guys are going to have all kinds of ideas that I wouldn't even think of. Yeah, Leslie, definitely use minky and flannel for the belly. Definitely. Or even, you know, like the minky and a towel. If that towel, that way, if it needed to be absorbent at night when they were sleeping, and you could put the towel on the inside if their diaper didn't quite hold. And then who knows, maybe they fall asleep petting it. You never know. Yes, I know, Michelle. Yeah, the things now that they've got for the babies. Oh boy, when my niece and nephew were little, there's so many things that I see now. And that's the only experience I've got is when my niece and nephew were little. And I look at some of those thinking, man, I wish we would have had that when they were small. That sure would have been very helpful. Yep. You could even do it out of linen. You could make this out of even a real light bandana weight. If you just go buy those bandanas, you know, at the dollar store or something, and they're super, super lightweight. So many things you can do with that. Yep, linen. You know me and my linen. I love linen. I've still got to finish that top. I've really got to sit down and just take that pattern out and figure out what pieces are missing. I know I've just got to completely start over. That's all it is. Sorry. It's funny how my one group that I met with this afternoon, they're getting chatty tonight for some reason. I don't know what they're doing here. I haven't been reading it. They usually don't do that. So they must be planning something. I'll have to catch up with them later. Yep, definitely, Michelle. Sarah, I bet. I bet you're looking at the sales lady going, what are we going to do with that? Those of you that haven't seen Sarah's fabric that she designed for Amber, oh my gosh, you guys, I got to go check it out. Amber's got an exclusive on it, so nobody else can get it, and that's the way it should be. And it's really beautiful. So you need to go over to Bingham Bliss's site, and you will see this really pretty turtle. And it's got a very real look to it. It is so beautiful. And she's using it for skirts and bummies and all kinds of good stuff. So check it out. And Sarah's going to be coming out with more, aren't you, Sarah? Aren't you? I can't wait. I want to see more. I want to see more. So did you guys that were sewing with me, how did yours come out? Were you okay? Did you have questions? Any problems there? I'm thinking, Sarah, because there's things that I know I think of and I can't think of it when I get put on the spot, but I will have some ideas for you. I definitely will. Yes, I have, Shana. In fact, I've got several of them. I need to actually put them on my machine and try them. But yeah, I definitely am excited about that. I'm not going to be one of those that probably wants to actually do the free motion quilting. I've done it, and it's just not something that I can honestly say made me go, oh, I've got to do this. You know, it was more, I gotta get this done because I want to move on to something else. So I think that's going to be the ticket for me because I'm too fussy about how I want my quilting to come out. And that'll take care of it for me over there while I get to go do other stuff. So I think it's a win-win on that one. I'm excited about it. And then that'll just be a little more justification later on to myself when I have to get another multi-needle or something. You know, right now I can't justify it because my flat bed will do this and it'll do everything I need it to do right now. So that's okay. It's all right. One step at a time. So you guys did good. I want to see pictures when you guys make these. I really, really want to see pictures. I want you guys to just bombard me with pictures. And if you guys start coming up with some great ideas, I can't wait to see you listing them, selling them. These things are so easy, and they're great little scrap busters. As you notice, this isn't much at all, much fabric at all. And I've got so much scrap fabric over there where if I make it and sell this one rather than make them to order, these I will make and sell the one that I made. And when they're gone, they're gone. And that's how I'm going to do my scrap busting. Except for this poor little dinosaur who's going to have to be worn upside down. Yes, in the hoop projects are good. Those are awesome. There's a lot of those out there. You can do just about everything in the hoop. You just got to find somebody who's made the design for you. There's purses, there's mitts, there's I know there's bibs. I know there's a bunch. My brain's not thinking of all of them, but there's a whole lot out there. Oh, good, Angelina. Yeah, all this stuff is great scrap busters. I had thought of making also baby washcloths. I know probably not something that you normally buy just because you had a baby. You're probably going to grab something you've got. But the washcloths, I know some people do like those. And so you can use scrap busters for those as well. I know, Leslie. I know. You've been saying that since the minute you bought that. So, Leslie, if you guys didn't read in the comments, she wanted to see Sarah's fabric from Amber so bad she ordered, I think it was 2 skirts, and she's not certain she's giving them to the people she was going to give them to. She might just keep them because that fabric is so cute. It is just absolutely stinking adorable. So they were saying woodland creatures or airplanes. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs would be fun. You know how food items are a real big thing right now too, so that could be fun. Any kind of, you've got to come up, Sarah, when you're doing this, you're not going to think of it right now, but as you're going through and doing a bunch of the sketching, you're going to all of a sudden get your own flair. You're going to have something that brands you, whether it's the way you portray things, or maybe you have a certain style or whatever. But once you've developed that and people know that that is you when they look at it, I think all of a sudden everything's just going to pop open for you in your brain, because it's going to be, oh, well, I could do, like gnomes out in the woodlands, and everybody'd know it's me. And it can be used from anything from baby stuff to blankets to kitchenware to, anything like that, and then anything you touch, you're going to be able to create like a mini fabric line. So you'll have, like, say, we'll go back to the gnome thing. So you got gnomes, and then maybe have complementary fabrics that go with it that you've also done that maybe aren't quite as intricate as that gnome design. So maybe you'll have like just mushrooms or just trees or something. And then people can go and put things together, whether it be for quilts or for clothes or pillows or whatever. Spoonflower is very good, guys. Yeah. Spoonflower is a rabbit hole. Sarah, your style it's going to come. Okay, it's not something. Some people have it already. Most people have to develop it. So just keep sketching. It's going to come. You're going to all of a sudden start gaining a style. So you'll be fine. Don't overthink it. Oh yes. Absolutely, Mary Beth. In fact, I'm looking for that right now. My coworker, he wants me to make a set for his niece and nephew, and his niece loves the brain fart right now. Cocoa melon. I had to look at it. She loves cocoa melon, so I'm going to make her a dress with the cocoa melon fabric underneath it, similar to this. And then I'm going to get there's a Cocomelon embroidery file that I'm going to get for this. So I'm going to make this for him, for her. And then he said for the boy, he wanted celestial stars and all that. And the boy's young, really, really young, where the girl's probably like 3 or 4. Yeah, I need some fabric with celestial stuff. And trying to find that in something that is like a true celestial, but yet cute, but not overly baby. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of that every time I show him something, he's like, not quite there, not quite there. And I'm like, oh boy. Okay, Anna, thank you for coming by and joining. Hope you have a good evening. Mandy, you can keep some of your designs private on Spoonflower. That's all the designer's prerogative. You choose if you want it public or private. Oh, thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Joanna. So, yeah, I'm. That's what's holding me back about getting this order done. So I've got everything to do the dress. I've got to find the stuff for the boy, and I think I'm going to do that sleeveless hoodie that I make with harem shorts for him. And then I need the embroidery file too, which we'll figure out. But I've got to find the fabric for the shorts that's celestial, and then find an embroidery file to go with it, which I'm not too worried about that. I'm sure I'll figure something out on that one pretty easily. Yeah, yeah. And I love that watercolor feel, Sarah, and that can very easily be your signature. Kind of a pen and ink and watercolor feel, because that's kind of what you've got going on with that turtle. It's really cool. But yeah, it'll come, Sarah. Don't force it. Don't force it, because when I started doing some designing of my own, I didn't have a style either. And it came on its own. And now I truly know what my style is when I sit and do some designing. And it comes out every single time that way. And I didn't know it at the moment when I first started. So it's just stuff that you will, you'll fall back into all the time. Michelle, autocorrect. Yes, absolutely, Michelle. It is the things that it's our perfection monster. And we have a hard time letting ourselves be loose sometimes when it needs to be loose too. So yeah, you'll get there. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, thanks for joining us, Angelina. I'm so glad you could come by. Hey, Angela. Hey, girl. We need your ideas, girl. We're giving Sarah and with Sarah's Creations ideas about designing fabric for Spoonflower. I'm sure you saw that fabric that she did for Amber with Bingham Bliss, and she's wanting ideas. And so we're throwing out ideas. I'm sure you've got some that you have thought of too, where you've been doing some of the shirts and stuff and you see some of the trends, but we've been throwing out like dinosaurs and celestial sky, stars, that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you got any ideas, throw them out there. She's looking for it. But you probably missed what we were doing. I'll show you real quick. We were doing the Drool scarves. So kind of reversible if you want. I did mine with Minky on the back. You can do 2 different fabrics, flannel, whatever, towel, that kind of stuff. Rainbows, boho, tie-dye. Hey, that's good. I didn't even think about that. You are so right. Tie-dye and rainbows. Huge, 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 huge. And then I did this one. You're going to laugh, Angela. Okay, so this fabric, the dinosaurs go every direction, but do you think I could get the ones going up in the middle? No, I got the ones upside down in the middle. Epic fail. So what do you see? Not the ones that are up right side up. You see the ones that are upside down. Oh, wow. One of those deals. But I love the watercolor nautical idea. Absolutely, like Leslie's saying, so cool. But yeah, just another good place to go, Sarah, to get ideas. Run through like Pottery Barn, Baby and Kids, and places like that that have like the bedding and the decorations for the rooms and stuff, and see what the trends are. And try and stay with those trends or ahead of the trends too. Trends last for years. So they're going to know those trends because they have to study those because that's what they're selling for. So sneak peeks. Yeah, true, Angela. I never thought of that. When the baby looks down, it is right side up. Of course, then, I'll just wear it. You missed that too. I was like, yeah, if it's me, okay. What does that say? Pastel ombre. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I meant to do that. The baby's got to look at it. I'd have to put that in my description if I sold it this way. I'd be like, yeah, I did that on purpose. Oh, wow. Hey, Alicia. Hey, girl. Watercolor ocean with some ships passing through. That would be beautiful. And you could do the ships with like cute little elephants with the little nautical stuff on, turtles, all kinds of stuff. And they're all riding in little ships. That would be really cute. Clouds with some cute hot air balloons. Yeah, hot air balloons are big right now. Definitely. Oh, wow. So, Alicia, we were doing Drool bibs. So I was just kind of showing everybody how to, first of all, make them, how to deal working with Minky, what two fabrics you can put together, which is pretty much anything. So if your baby is really drooling and you need real absorbent, I'd probably put towel on one side and maybe flannel or cotton on the other. And that way you can flip it around as needed or wipe up or whatever. And then we were talking about placement. And oops, what happens when you cut it out wrong and something is upside down? So we talked about a lot of that too. So that's if you're interested in going back and rewatching, that's kind of the highlights of that one. Rainbow stars, little woodland bears, deer, girl and boys. Oh, very good. Yes, love it. Bark camo, Michelle, that would be really cool. Sarah, sometimes maybe the details get you overwhelmed. Okay, take it down a notch, keep it a little simpler, take some of those details into the complementary fabrics and see if that kind of helps you shake it out. And then go back and re-look at the first one you started. So again, back to the gnomes. So you could do so many details on the gnomes. You could take them way down and make them super simple and take some of those details into the complementary. And then when you do the complementaries, then all of a sudden maybe you're like, oh, but this one detail, really, if I put that in with the main gnome again, and then you add that back in, then all of a sudden everything starts coming together. So it's kind of a process. You just kind of keep going back and forth and working. And sometimes too, what I've had to do is completely walk away from something for a day or two. Come back, and then all of a sudden your eyes are fresh on it again. Okay, hey, did I miss you coming in, or did you just join? You've probably been here all night and I'm just now noticing, sorry. Yeah, you do stunning work, Sarah. Don't be hard on yourself. It's a process. It really is. And we want to get from A to Z as fast as we can. So I get you. Yep. Oh man, I'm sorry, Kay. I'm just now waking up and noticing that you're here. I feel bad. Hey, Shirley. Good to see you stopping by. Angela, you missed my little, oh, what do you want to call it? Anyway, I'm pushing Kavita, kind of like you're pushing your coffee between Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. So I'm like, if I can get a Kavita sponsorship, you can get So anyway, it was just kind of funny at the moment. It's not so funny anymore, but yeah. But yeah, I'm stuck on these. And Leslie, I don't know if you went and got this lemon one, but oh my goodness. I'm still so stuck on this. Kavita. Kavita is, it's kind of in the same ballpark sort of as kombucha, but it's not a kombucha. They do have kombucha, but this one is not. This one is a sparkling probiotic drink, and it is amazing. This one is called lemon cayenne, and it has very little cayenne. It's not spicy at all. It's probably just a touch, and I can hardly taste it. It tastes like lemon chiffon pie, and it has stevia in it, so it's only got 10 calories for this whole thing. It is so good. And then it's got probiotics, and it does have some ACV in it. You can't taste it. It is so good, and I feel so good afterwards too. So yummy. And then they've got one that has a little more carbs and stuff in it. It's a strawberry kiwi coconut, I think. Oh, it is so good. Oh, it is so good. But it's like 40 calories for the whole thing, but it's got a little more sugars and stuff. This one's only got 10. So good. I'm going to be going through these. Do not buy them on Amazon if you go check them out, because they're like about 4 times the price as they are in the store. Go buy them in the store. They should only be running you anywhere from about $2.50 to $3 a bottle. Just telling you. Anything more than that, it's too expensive. But I buy them down here in Texas. I get them at HEB and at Brookshire's. But I know they probably will have them other places. Go over into like the health food kombucha area in your grocery stores, and that's where this will be. Yeah, Michelle, you got to try these, because these are not kombucha. They have all the benefits of kombucha, though, but they don't taste like kombucha, and I love kombucha. But it doesn't taste like it at all. Sarah, I know you can do it, girl. I know you can. You've already shown us you can. Yeah, we are our own worst critic. We really are, Sarah. Yeah. So we got you, girl. We'll keep you pumped up. No, it does not. This does not have sugar in it. It's got stevia. And I don't know that it's got a lot, but it's not sour at all. It's, when I first took a drink of it, I was like, are you sure this doesn't have sugar in it? Because it sure, it tastes really good. But no, it's got like maple extract in it too. So maybe that and the stevia together is why it tastes so yummy. But it's certified organic too. So maybe not every single one, but I think this one says it is, because it's got it right down here. But Michelle. Oh man, that's funny. Carbs. This one's only got 3, but it's got 3 sugars, Sandy. So that's the part. Yeah, just make sure you read on the side. The different flavors are different. You can get on the Kavita website and look at every single one of them and see their nutrition facts, Sandy. So if there is one that would work for you, but they've got a lot of different flavors. They've got a mojito mint, like a mojito lime mint or something. I want to try that one. That one sounds really good too. Are you, Sarah? Awesome. Can't wait to see that. Yeah, I didn't know how, what was good or bad on that, because to me, I look at a total carb, but I know some people really have to watch other things as well. So yeah, this whole thing is only 3. So yeah, the whole bottle is 1 serving. It's a big bottle. It's 15 ounces. So I love this stuff. And even if it doesn't stay super cold, it still tastes really good. It's not one of those where it gets a little warmed up and it goes, ugh. Oh, good night, Stacy. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you made it. I know. Sarah, oh, you're killing me with all these. I can't wait to see these now. Yep, have a good week, Stacy. Yeah, I agree, Leslie. Amber wouldn't be putting it in her shop if you weren't doing a really good job. So true. Michelle. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Sarah, that's sweet. Oh, no way, Lauren. They always think it's funny to body slam too, don't they? And then, you know, they never get hurt. We always end up being the ones that get hurt. Of course, that was funny the other day. I don't know if Angela's still on here or not, that Roman was feeding her cracker after cracker after cracker. She was showing on her Instagram. And then he had them over there on the side of the sofa, and they were just everywhere. No plate, just, and then he'd pick them up and put them in her mouth. She was done with the crackers, and I can't say I blame her. Because, you know, at that age, they're just like, oh, well, this is fun. And they just keep feeding them to you. So, okay. I got to share that list that we got last week from you guys with ideas. And I can't remember where I laid it down, but I know I've got several ideas. Oh, that's okay, Angelica. Oh, you're at work. I'm sorry. Oh, man. That's okay. We're just chatting now, so it's all good. Oh, ow, Michelle. Oh, wow. That's gotta hurt. We've talked about doing an actual meetup, Sarah. We've never really gotten to the point of actually planning it, but a bunch of us have said, just kind of off the cuff, wouldn't it be fun if we had planned a meetup sometime in the future when we're able to do it, which it's looking like, you know, that actually could be a possibility more than it was when we were first talking about it, and could be coming up fairly soon as a possibility. Granted, talking and getting it done is a whole nother thing, but wouldn't that be fun if we could just figure out a retreat getaway weekend somewhere, and if people could make it awesome and just go take over a hotel and bring your sewing machine if you want. I've flown with my sewing machine, just saying. Did I ever tell you guys about that? So I used to fly with my FAF a lot when I was before I moved down here. So I flew down here quite a bit because I was dating a guy at the time. And so I'd fly down and see him for, I'd stay for a couple of weeks and then I'd go back home because I was laid off at that time. So I was looking for a job. Plus I was trying to get Scandeez up and rolling, but it was during the recession. And I knew the chances of me being able to make that happen could happen, but I also had to be realistic about the fact with the recession the way it was. So I would carry on my FAF, and you have to put it, through the scanner. Most of the time they didn't say anything, but one guy, he looks at it, he looks around and he goes, "Is that a printer?" And I'm like, "A printer? Really?" Okay. I didn't quite know how to answer him on that one. I was like, no, it's a sewing machine. And he just kind of looked at me like, what? And just pushed it on. Oh, Sarah, I bet. Oh, yeah. Lauren, everybody's kind of from everywhere. A bunch of us are from Texas. There's some people from California. We've got Sandy and Anna Michelle, are you in Canada? I think you're in Canada. They're all up in Canada. Let's see who else is on here. Yeah, Sarah's in Colorado. That's right. I did know that. Lauren, I think you're in Connecticut. Am I right? Michelle's in Maryland. Okay, I knew you were close up over there. Niagara Falls, Joanna. So we're just kind of everywhere. Yeah, Angelica, you're in Houston with Ediani and Gabby. Oh, Ashley, you're in Southern Maryland, so you're probably not far from Michelle. Mia's out in Pennsylvania, if I remember right. And then Pia was on earlier. She is in Mexico. And Amber is in Arizona. Yes, I was right. Philadelphia. Okay. Pennsylvania. And Sam, you're in Missouri. Diane's in Smoky Mountains. Lauren's in Tennessee. Okay, you're in Tennessee. I don't know why I was thinking Connecticut. I don't know where I got that. I know somebody's from Connecticut. That's where I was getting that from. Leslie, yes, you're Dallas. Pia's New Mexico, yeah. Oh, good. Oh, that's right. You had to go FaceTime. That's right, Mary. For those that you don't know, Mary's husband travels quite a bit, and so they had to FaceTime with the girls. All over, Lauren, Michigan. Mary's in Michigan. That's right. Marissa's in Southern California. That I did not know. Mary Beth is in Virginia. That's right. I thought somebody was in Virginia. Ashley. What's a couple hours? I'm about 5 hours away from Cindy, but those of you that catch our lives, and from Leslie, those of you that catch our lives occasionally when we do them, I'm working down the road from her through the end of May, so I go there once a week. And so when our schedule works out, or I should say when her schedule works out, because her boys are now playing sports and stuff a lot on Tuesday nights. And when we can, we all try to get together, and then we do a live if possible and bring you guys into the fun. And it's usually just a whole lot of laughter, and we have a good time. But yeah, I'm not so 100% sure that this can't happen, guys. I know it's going to take a lot of planning and a lot of talking and stuff, and it could be a whole nother year before it happens, but I'm not going to necessarily say it won't happen and that we can't do it. So I think we should all just kind of mill on it a little bit. I know, Sarah, because Amber's like, yeah, you guys got to come on over. And I keep saying, well, you guys got to come on over here too. So it might end up being one of those where we have some smaller girl weekends for those that are close by as well and have a good time. Yeah, Ashley, it's going to be tough for when I no longer work up there. I'm going to miss those guys desperately. Terribly. It's going to be so hard. Oh, that would be fun, Diane. Gallenberg. Oh, thanks, Lauren. Yeah, we have so much fun because everything's just so impromptu. It's just whatever she's working on, and then we just talk, and then you guys talk with us. And I think we gave away a sewing machine once. Somebody had donated a sewing machine, and we got to give it away. That was fun. Yeah, road trip. But yeah, we've thrown it around. Well, I'm sure something will get figured out eventually, but it could be a lot of fun, and it could be really good too. We could make it a learning weekend. Who knows? So anything. Oh, yes, Diane. I used to do that a lot. I get it. I totally get it. You have a good evening, and thank you for dropping by. Another retreat, Leslie. Yeah. Yes. You got the sewing machine, Sarah. What sewing machine are you talking about, Sarah? Oh, you got the sewing machine. Hello. The one I was talking about we gave away. Okay, yes. Hello. What sewing machine? Man, I swear. I've got ADD. Yes. Awesome. That's so cool. I bet you're loving every minute of it. Oh, that'd be fun, Sam. That would be so fun. Yeah, I'm so glad you got that, Sarah. That's cool. I totally forgot who won it. Yeah, well, they think they did, but they said no, go ahead and choose another name or something like that happened, if I remember right. So, but that's cool. That is so cool. Leslie, I know. The blonde kicks in once in a while on me, I have to admit. Oh, awesome. Yeah, because we were drawing that night. I remember that. That was fun. Oh, Mia. Yeah, that's all it takes. Totally. And then if you watch Pam on Sterling Styles too, then they're going to definitely want all the animals. Yeah, it's not going to take much. Oh, it could have been. Yeah, I don't remember, Ashley. Yeah, it could have been. Oh, Sarah, you don't need much to try it. Really, if you've got, do you have like any kind of just cotton fabric or even an old t-shirt? And then if you don't have stabilizer or anything, just put a couple of pieces of cotton underneath it just to try it, just kind of improvise a little bit. I mean, I'd be dying. I'd be like trying to figure something out without having to go to the store. And then once I got there, I'd be like, okay, I definitely know what I need now. Yeah, I'd be pulling a t-shirt out of my closet and I'd be figuring something out. Oh no. Mia, you're gonna have to start putting earplugs in their ears. They're not invited to the lives. Little ears, they hear everything. Yeah, no, I don't mean the turtle fabric. I do not. There you go. Starch the fabric. Yep, absolutely. There's definitely ways to improvise just to try. If you're just, it'll work. It'll work. And you'd be surprised what you learn by doing that too. Yeah, kids love farm animals. They really do. There you go, Ashley. Yep. 2 pieces of felt, if you've got that. I mean, you'd probably be surprised. You probably do have something right there that you could try. Okay, good night, Mary. Thanks for stopping by and having a good evening with us. That was so fun. Glad you could join. Oh, I get it. Oh, thread. Well, there's that. Yeah, the one thing we can't help you improvise. The stabilizer, though, you can figure that one out. You've got pretty much probably something around, you know, like they're saying starch fabric, that kind of stuff. But the thread, nah, that's tough. Yeah, if you have any thread, seriously, if it's a especially if it's a sewing embroidery machine, you can definitely use just regular sewing thread, because I do it all the time on my Janome, because it's meant to take both. And I'll use that actually even on my embroidery if I'm missing a color, and it creates another dimension because it's matte, where the other stuff is shiny. And so it kind of gets to be really cool. Oh, Mia, no, she did not. Oh my goodness. Oh, Mia. That's hilarious. She's working her angles. um, Sarah, just use if you're just testing, you can probably use whatever needles in there. Seriously, it's just a test. If that's all, chances are you're going to have probably a 9, 10, or an 11 needle in there, maybe a 12. They'll be fine. Yeah, it'll be fine. Yep, universal is perfect. They really are, Mia. They are selling you to the highest bidder. That's hilarious. That'll be okay, Sarah. Just try that. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then just put in some heavier fabric, like they're saying, like use jean fabric or something, and then it'll be stiffer. And then that 14 needle will be fine for that. Mia, your kids are going to make sure they come out of this on top. Yeah, they are. Dowry is right. They don't realize that's the old ways of doing it. Oh no, Sarah. Oh no. um, Lauren, I'd probably just start with I'd do some cottons. Maybe a towel, like a hand towel for your kitchen or something. Those will be real easy to start with. I would just do some plain fabrics, you know, just to play around on. I wouldn't get anything too special. Just get yourself some cotton muslin, maybe a couple, like a yard of cotton muslin that's not super, what do I want to say? The weave is nice and tight, or just a straight cotton fabric, one of the two. I just said muslin because it's really inexpensive, but cotton fabric, and then get yourself some just plain knit fabric too, plain like white, and you can practice on that a little as well. Of course, Sarah, that's the way it always goes. That's the way I do it. Always. I swear I'll hang on to something for forever, and the minute I get rid of it, that's where I needed it. Right there. There it is. And it's like 2 days after I got rid of it is when I figure it out. Yeah. He sounds like he's a gem. He sounds perfect. He's probably going to make all of you guys super happy, Mia. Sounds like he's awesome. Yep. So true, Ashley. When you finally are like, I'm done, I'm just going to go clean this place out. And then, yeah. I know, Sarah, I get the same way. I'm like, okay, I'm done looking at this. I'm cleaning this place. And then I clean it out. And 2 weeks later, I'm like, I needed that. Didn't need it for the last 10 years. Now I do. Oh, that's hard, Mia. But yeah, I get it when you have to be long distance, not by choice. It happens once in a while. So that's good. That's good. I'm glad you guys are trying to close that gap of distance. That's good. It's hard. I know. I can't tell you how many times, Sarah, I did that. And so it makes it even harder for me to clean stuff and get rid of it now. Because every time I go to do something, I'm like, and I know I'm going to be needing this. Hang on to it. I'm not going to need it. Get rid of it. There it is. Oh, my allergies are just kicking in right now. My nose is just stuffing up real bad. I've been fighting them all day. Aw, that's so sweet, Mia. I know, Sarah. I know. And yeah, there comes a point. I get it. But then if you're going to start keeping up with us, Sarah, you're going to have to make room for all that fabric and the machines because it's a slippery slope. I'm just saying. I'm on. I've got 5 right now. Is that right? 2. Yeah, 5. Oh, Mia, that's amazing. That's like my dream. You know, the guys that really want to help you. It's not that, you're just like, please. They're just like, can I help? And you're like, okay, let's see. Where do you want to start? Oh, yeah, Sandy, you're still fighting. Things are closed. Oh, that's got to be so hard. And we're actually starting to open up down here in Texas to the point where I went to church this morning and they had all of our normal chairs back in the normal spacing for the first time in over a year. We'd closed only for like 4 weeks, I think. And then we went back and went from one service to 2 to kind of disperse people out. And then we took all the chairs and really spaced the rows way out and took the seating way down so that it wouldn't hold as many. Well, today was the first day. 2 services, normal seating, and we were packed at both services. And I was like, oh boy, what are we going to do? Want always wins, Mary Beth. On that fabric, it does. That's good, Sarah. That's good. We enable well. We live to enable around here. That's how it happens, Sarah. Yep, we start realizing you've got to be able to support the habit. So how are you going to do that? You start selling. Perfect. And so another way to support is those designs on Spoonflower. Oh, that's tough, Ashley. Yeah. I know some people. It depends on the state you're in, on what's going on. Texas is starting to really open up, and we're actually doing okay. Oh, that's good though, Mia. Yeah, if he can just take pictures, even. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily have to do any of the verbiage or anything, but just helping with the pictures is amazing. And, you know, he could get it all set up. And if all you have to do then is go in and just put the words in, that would be really helpful. Oh, I get it. Yeah, Sandy. I know I've got to touch it too sometimes because I want to feel the weight, and there's a lot to touching. I agree. When I order like from Spoonflower and that, I got like their samples. And so they'll send you a sample pack of all their fabrics so I could touch it. And that helped a lot. Okay. Yeah, I'm hiding a lot of my personal fabric store over here. And you guys see just this, but then there's behind the couch that you don't see the bolts of fabric that I've got down there. Oh, Sarah, yeah, no, I get how you can do that. Totally. Lauren, it's a practice. You'll be okay though. You'll be okay. Just get some and don't, don't necessarily just use t-shirts if you want to at first. If you don't want to go buy the fabric, but at least learn how it plays with the machine and which way things are supposed to be and why and all that. And then once you've learned it, don't be afraid of it. It's easy. Yeah, Ashley, definitely. The counties everywhere, I think, are the ones that are really making the decisions now. Yeah, those samples were cool though, Sam. They really surprised me because there were some that I thought I wasn't going to like, and I really did like them, actually. Yep, that's what I'm doing too, Mia. I'm trying to do that exact same thing. Hey, Divya. Hey. Oh, and okay, so everybody else, since we were figuring out where everybody was, Divya's in Iowa. So that helps with that one. Divya, we were just talking about earlier where everybody was from. So everybody was throwing out their states. I got most people. Oh, Sarah, you've done very well. Wow, that's a lot. You've done a lot in the last couple of months. Oh, yeah, Lauren, just start small. Absolutely. And once you start figuring it out, though, and you figure out how to do some things, you'll start seeing other things are the exact same way of doing things, maybe just with a small this or that added to it, whether it be a curve or, a snap or something. So you'll start seeing that. You'll just, one at a time. You'll be okay. We'll get you through it. Oh, yes, Sarah, the t-shirt pattern I recommended. Oh, was that t-shirt so long we did? Yeah. Okay. What was your question? I know I heard that too, Bear Bear. Bear Bear's up here now. He just crawled up here. He was sleeping on the couch the whole night. And we heard something outside. I think it's getting dark out, so who knows what wandered by. Yes, definitely, Leslie. Okay, Sarah, on that test page, no. What you have to do is when you go to print it out, you have to make sure, go in your properties and make sure that your scale is not set to fit to page. You got to make sure it's set to, I think 100%, but most of the time it defaults to fit to page, and that's where it's going to end up being just a touch smaller. So play with your scaling on your properties when you go to print out any of these patterns. And when you get that square and when you print your test page, if you notice it's off, 9 times out of 10, it's that scaling. Yeah. Yeah. Tonight, these little things that we're showing you, Lauren, these are perfect for you to learn on. And then if you go back and look at both Amber, Gabby's, and my earlier videos, you're going to find a whole bunch of ones that have some real basic stuff. And that's what we were trying to do, is start at some real basic stuff for people like you that are just learning. And then we start building on it. So definitely go back and look through some of those and pick maybe one or two that you think you want to try, that maybe you've done this one and you feel really comfortable, and the next one that you try pushes maybe just one extra thing for you to learn. And look at the video, watch the video, and then try and sew along with us the second time through. Okay, Shirley, thanks for coming by. I'm glad you stopped. Oh, that's strange. No, I didn't have a problem with that one, Sarah. That's why I wonder if maybe try your scaling though somewhere on there, because mine came out. I always measure mine, and it came out okay. Oh, thanks, Sandy. I hope so, because it's, you know, it's a learning curve, and I agree that, you know, it can be a little scary, but you know, I know you guys can do these. I know you can. Of course, then I've told you my stories about when I was learning and things would go flying across the room when I got frustrated. So don't feel bad if you get frustrated and you want to throw it. It has, yeah. That's what we were hoping for, and I'm really glad to see it's become this big community thing. I'm really excited that you guys are getting things out of this. Oh, weird. Okay, Sarah. Let me pull that up on my iPad and see what it does, and see if I can't figure that out for you. Okay. Yes, definitely, Mary Beth, definitely. Yeah, when you get to using knits, Lauren, we talk about grain line quite a bit on, at least I do. I'm pretty sure Amber does as well. And we'll tell you on these patterns how, at least I do, on where your grain line goes and why. So grain line, we talk about stretch. Oh, good, Sandy. You know, it's really sad when we have to spend money on the needles and the stuff we don't want to spend the money on, but yeah, they're so important. Oh, good, Mia. I'm glad you're learning. Sarah. Yeah, velour is tricky. It's a lot like minky. It wants to move and shift and walk, and yeah, but it's just like minky. But they do come out so cute in velour. I love it. Lauren, it depends. The stretch has to go, like if you're doing, I'm just going to use bunnies for an example. Let me show you this. So the stretch has to go this way, not this way. Okay. So when you're laying your pattern out, you got to know which way things have to stretch. So you want it to go this way, not this way. Because you see how this barely stretches this way? So if you do this way, then you got a problem. So that's the thing you got to watch when you're doing your knits. And always stop and think about like your necklines and stuff. They've got it. That's where your stretch has got to be. So does that help? No, they're not, Angela. The sewing needles for sergers are the same as they are for the machines. Sometimes a serger, you will use a bigger needle. Some people use 12s and 14s on their sergers. I think I got 14s in mine. That's the only thing that's different. If it's directional fabric, Leslie, directional as in the stretch is directional. Is that what you're saying? Oh, good, Sam. I'm glad. Yes, Sarah. Exactly. For the bummies, if it's directional. Are you meaning though the stretch is directional? Because I think I know what you mean by, because sometimes it'll go more at an angle. I've seen some fabrics that are kind of like they do this and then this. Is that what you're meaning? Because on these, the stretch definitely is more in one direction than the other on this fabric. Because this fabric, it doesn't go very well. I mean, it stretches. So if I were to cut these out, fold this in half, and I'm cutting them out like that, laying them down, and here's my fold. So my fabric is stretching this way on that fold. And so I'm cutting this, which is the waistband, this direction rather than this way. Because if I were to turn it, then it wouldn't stretch as much. Yeah, how to put on the cuffs and waistbands. We've shown, yeah, definitely shown that a lot. And that's you got to really think through that. And if you watch through my bummy tutorial, you'll see I skirt it up. And so I had it on the outside. We had decoration. Remember that? Yep. Yep, Sarah. So yeah, if the pattern on the fabric is directional, you still have to follow the stretch. And most of the time, I think I know what you're talking about. The pattern is going to be put on the fabric so that the stretch works with the pattern in the way it's supposed to. So I think that's what you were asking, is what if the pattern on the fabric is in the wrong way for the stretch, and it shouldn't be. They should always print on the fabric so that the stretch works with the fabric in the way that it's supposed to, stretch in the right way. Is that what you were talking about? Hey, Amber. Glad you came back. Yes, she was. Amber, you missed it. Sarah was she was gushing over you a little while ago. Cut along the grain line. Yeah, I'm missing part of this conversation, so I'm going to let you girls take it. Yeah, I think so, Amber. I think with all the questions that are coming up, we could definitely do another one. I think it'd be good. Yeah, she was gushing about how you've enabled her and how she loves working with you. Yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah, if Amber does a bummy one also, I think you might catch some things that she does maybe just a touch different than I did in my video, and they're both right. And everybody does things just a little different when we sew things together, and that's okay. You know, there's more than one way to do it. Oh my goodness, Amber. Oh, I hope he feels better. That's tough. He has been so good in leaving me alone, and he cannot stand me not petting him. Look at this. He's like, Mom, I've been so good all night. Haven't you, buddy? Little bear, you've been so good. At least you're not like weaving in amongst my feet. Always make me fall over when I do that. Isn't he cute, Angelica? He's such a doll. And he usually doesn't hang out right here. He's usually really good, hangs out on the couch, or once in a while he'll sit on the very corner of the table over there. But he usually doesn't get up right underneath me unless he wants attention, and he hasn't had attention for a little while. And you haven't had a whole lot of attention the last 2 days, have you? So. Yep. Yes, Amber, absolutely. Oh, Sarah, that is so sweet. You'll be okay, Lauren. You're looking too big of a picture. Just start with some of the easy stuff and just learn the basics, and then the rest just comes. So you'll be fine. He is. You know, he's like shedding so bad. And I hate to touch him because it's almost like he just looks at me and poof, and it all just goes poof. He's so sweet, though. Aren't you, sweet boy? Yeah. You're so sweet boy. He's going to start making air muffins. He does that. Oh, now the purring starts. Hi, sweet boy. Hi, sweet boy. I really wished I knew how old he was. I think he's older. I'll never know, will I? If you could just talk, it would help. But I think you're an older boy. Yeah, Lauren, it's addicting, and yeah, sure, you're going to be frustrated once or twice. We all have been there, but you'll get past it, and you'll be like, wow, why was I so scared about this? This is a blast. Yeah, you're starting to make muffins, aren't you? He loves to sit and just make muffins when I talk to him. He's a handsome boy. Yeah, you're a handsome boy, aren't you? You're so handsome. He'll start drooling here in a minute because he's missing his front teeth. And I don't know what happened. It's his baby teeth. He literally does not have the 4 right here. And so when he starts getting all excited and happy, he starts drooling right there because he's got nothing to hold it in. Stories I don't want to know, I'm sure. Sweet boy. Yep, Lauren, see, you got us. We're all here to help you. You'll be all right. And that's the good thing about, having all of us is like whenever you run into a problem, somebody's available. There's always going to be somebody that can, help you or whatever. I gotta go check out those channels, Mia. That sounds really cool. Oh, you're shedding so badly. Oh my goodness. No, Bob. It's not a reason not to pet you, though. Sweet boy. Sweet boy. Sweet boy. I know. He can't help himself. Oh, sweetie, come here. There you go. Yeah, now you can make muffins on my arm. All right, you go back down over here and make your muffins. He's got like a whole pile of my minky scraps that I put on the couch there. He gets in there, he's just like, oh yeah. He just loves those. All right, guys, I suppose it's that time of night. I don't want to say goodbye, but it's time to start winding down and get ready to go to bed. Yeah, we've all done that. Yeah, for sure. Oh, hey, Zoa. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. We keep missing each other. You're okay. Everybody's got busy lives now that we're kind of getting somewhat of a routine again going. Hey, Amira. Yeah. Thanks, Sandy. Yeah, I'm getting ready to sign off, guys. I'm sorry. Kind of got to get ready for work tomorrow, and then I travel Tuesday, Wednesday again. So we got to do all that. So, hey, Amira. So anyways, glad you guys joined. We got lots more good stuff coming up. And yeah, be watching for also, I'm excited to start working on that quilt along a little bit. I've got some things in my brain. So I'm excited to get that one going with you guys too. I think that one's going to take us down a whole nother rabbit hole. But Yamira. It's okay. Oh, thanks, Sarah. You're amazing too. So yeah, everybody, thanks for joining me. Good night. I love you guys. I will definitely be back next Sunday. Is just a regular live, and we'll do some more chit chatting. And who knows what I'll have going on at that point? I don't know. I may have other things to show you guys, or we might just be taking 3 hours to cut out a fabric like I did last time. So anyways, you guys all have a really wonderful rest of your night, and I'll be chatting with you off and on this week, and you have a great week. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.